Hey guys, it's Squall, and this is part 4 of Everlasting Summer. A girl reading a book. Lena. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only new person I had met here without exchanging even a few words. Hi, what are you reading? Lena was so surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and stared at the book again. So what are you reading? On the cover was written, "Gone with the Wind." A good book. Thanks. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you... No, she answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. Maybe I wanted to try to find something out from her. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you... No, you're not. I can leave, just say. Everything's alright. Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it wouldn't be nice to just stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hasn't answered anything. It seems I made a fool out of myself. I bet if Juliana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled the Slavia's question and thought it would be a good start for a conversation. Yes? She smiled slightly. Aw, I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easily as Slavia. I'm the same way. But there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse of a reflection in the glass of a raining autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness, searching for something that you saw out of the corner of your eye. Of course, you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it still felt so tempting. And I was still reading the book without paying any attention to my presence. And I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or this world in general. Beautiful night. Yes. How in the world would you start a conversation with her? It's late. I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Lena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp, which I had started to put together in my head. A lazy evening. There's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I headed toward Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. The light in the house was on. Hello, Semyon. You're quite late. Yeah, I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright, you will be sleeping here. She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here? I was a bit surprised. Yeah, is something wrong? We are out of free cabins anyway. The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it was just out of politeness. You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? There was a clear emphasis on the word decent. Yeah, sure. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? She looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offense in her eyes. A pioneer should respect their elders. Oh, I guess he called her something not formal. Olga Dmitrievna said strictly. Of course he should. No one argues that. I blathered, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also? She stared at me. Under such a gaze, even mithril forged by the best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons would melt. Should I what? What's up to... Homeboy, why did you call her that? What's up, Toots? Annoyance and a lack of understanding made me raise my voice. You must address adults appropriately. Yes, of course there are a lot of strange things here, but this girl is just a couple years older than me. Or maybe even younger. But I decided not to argue. Well, just a few minutes ago I would never called her an adult. I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. And in any case, I wasn't in a position to argue. As you say, ma'am. I mumbled. That's much better. That is how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep. Honestly speaking, I was going to become neither a decent nor an indecent pioneer. Just yesterday I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. But do I have a choice now? If you don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga Dmitrievna was probably going to use. I climbed onto the bed and closed my eyes only to realize how tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head awfully, as if my brains had started a night shift. And they seemed to be aimed more at rolling steel than working on something more sensitive. The bus flew through my mind. And the square with the monument, the canteen full of pioneers, and the malicious face of Ulyana. Slavia? Lena? And even recalling Elisa didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. What if I'm here for good? Things could be worse, I suppose. I was having a dream. It seemed like I was in some kind of vacuum with nothing but nothing around me. But not only around, I was the only creature in the universe. As if the universe had returned to a state of singularity right before the Big Bang. Something was just about to happen. Suddenly I heard a voice. I could not make out the words, but it sounded familiar. The voice was whispering something gently, as if soothing me. And then I realized it was the voice of that strange girl from the bus. The girl from the dream. But what is she trying to tell me? Who is she? I woke up. Bright sunlight struck my eyes. It was almost noon. After stretching lazily on the bed and yawning, I started to recall the previous day. In a few seconds, all its events passed before my eyes. The bus, the camp, the local inhabitants. No, that's just wrong. Not this whole situation, not me being here. It was wrong by default. My attitude towards what was happening was wrong. Because yesterday I fell asleep here just like that. And before that I chatted nicely with the local pioneers, even managed to crack a few jokes. How could I act like that in such a situation? I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling, should avoid all contact with the potentially hostile creatures. Yeah, that's my attitude whenever I leave the house. The last day's events were getting hazy, like I had a hangover. This really feels like the morning after a heavy drinking party. Yesterday's natural, flawless, absolutely normal conduct becomes a nightmare in the morning, a grotesque illustration from the Divine Comedy. Yes, it's just like that, and I can't change the past now. Then again, I had probably assessed the situation and was acting accordingly. I glanced around, trying to figure out whether I had been thrown somewhere else, but Olga Dmitrievna's cabin looked the same as yesterday. Everything seemed to be in its place, except for a pioneer uniform, which was hanging from the bedhead. I fumbled with it in distrust and tried it on. At least this is better than walking around in winter clothes. Wish I could see myself. Bet I look like a clown. And for that, I needed a mirror. At least a tiny one. I finally found one on the wardrobe door. Oh, I have no eyes. Holy! I looked at the newfound pioneer and jumped away in surprise. There was some teenager on the other side of the mirror. He's young again? He resembled me, but he wasn't me. Where did the weak stubble go? Where were the bags under my eyes, the slouch, the deathly fatigue on my face? It seemed that I had not been thrown back in time or into a parallel reality, but instead had simply changed bodies with someone else. Really? Right, that's real simple. Such things happen every day. I took a closer look at this stranger and only then I realized that it was actually me. It just wasn't today's me, maybe the one from between my school and university years. Well, at least that's something. There you go. The person in an extreme situation did fail to notice the elephant in the room after all. But the camp leader noticed it, and last night she told me off for addressing her without proper respect. Ah, screw that. I doubt my appearance affects anything else. If the clock was not lying, breakfast was long over. Oh well, I'll try to find something in the canteen. It worked out well yesterday with Slavia, didn't it? Those memories made me smile involuntarily. The sun was shining brightly outside. A light breeze was blowing. A beautiful summer day. I had not felt so good in the morning for several years. All problems were gone, vanished into clouds that were white as snow. Olga Dmitrievna came out of nowhere. Good morning, Semyon. Cute hat. Morning. I smiled, doing my best to show that no matter what, my morning was indeed good. You only arrived yesterday, so I decided not to wake you up. But breakfast... Never mind. Here, take this. She handed me something wrapped in paper. Judging by the oily stains, there had to be sandwiches inside. Oh, thank you. Now go wash yourself. I was about to leave. Wait a second. Olga Dmitrievna quickly ran into the house and came out to shove a small bag into my hands. Inside it, I found a toothbrush, soap, a small towel, and something else. I did not look too closely. This is heading somewhere awkward, ain't it? A pioneer should always be clean and tidy. Let me do your neckerchief properly this first time. Yours is askew. Yeah, you should do it yourself once you learn how to. Do we have to? I am going to wash myself now. Yeah, right. It could get hooked on the tap and strangle me. Fine, later then. Don't forget about the lineup. Pencils, paper, drawing lines. You don't forget such things. What lineup? What do you mean, what lineup? She frowned. It's Monday today. Weird. By my approximation, it should have been Sunday. Then again, a shift in the day of the week is hardly the worst thing. Usually we have lineups early in the morning before breakfast, but it's Monday today, so we are having it at 12 o'clock. Don't be late. Alright, but where? At the square. Where else? There was no reason to argue. I headed to the bathing place. Oh dear. I knew I could forget about separate showers and toilet, but at the sight of this malfunctioning symptom of a decaying socialism, a funny turtle with a tinsule, paw taps and a ceramic belly, I felt sick. I was not a squeamish person, but nevertheless, standing there I realized that there was still some minimal level of habitual comfort which I found it troublesome to do without. It's often like that. When you lose things that you thought were ordinary and common, you suddenly understand just how essential they were. Screw this. As if I have any choice. The water was ice cold. While washing my hands was not an issue, washing my face and my mouth became a big problem. There was no toothpaste in the bag which Olga Dmitrievna gave me. I could brush my teeth without it, but there was a small round box wrapped in the towel. Tooth powder. Cute. 1 point for me being somewhere in the past. I washed myself quite quickly, also due to the ice cold water. Someone was coming quickly, or more like running towards me. I turned around. Wow. It was Slavia, dressed in a tracksuit. This girl would probably look good in anything, pioneer uniform, bikini, probably even a spacesuit. Hey there. Ohio, good morning. Yeah. Oh yeah, real smooth. Why didn't you come for breakfast? I overslept. I said it as if I was proud about it. But Olga Dmitrievna gave me some sandwiches. Oh, great then. Don't forget about the lineup. Yeah, sure. As if I could forget. Right, I gotta run. Enjoy yourself. She waved goodbye to me and disappeared around the pass bend. Looks like it's a couple of minutes until the lineup. I should quickly pass by my home to drop off my washing bag and eat the sandwiches, and then head to the square. I swung open the door of the camp leader's cabin and rushed inside, as if jumping into the last car of a departing train. It didn't turn out to be the best idea, because inside I found Olga Dmitrievna, oh gosh, who was changing. I froze on the spot, trying not to breathe. Finally, the camp leader noticed me. Semyon! I looked away immediately. Have you heard of knocking? Now get out! Yeah, that was real clumsy. Although I did enjoy this. Come on, man. Olga Dmitrievna followed me out in a minute. Here, take this. Now it is your home too. She handed me a key. I put it in my pocket. Home. Of course, if you disregard how fantastical the current events were, this camp was far from being the worst place on earth. But to call it home? Just after one day spent here? I doubt I'll ever be able to do so. Alright, let's go, we're late. But what about the sandwiches? Just eat them on the way. We were passing along the lines of the pioneers' cabins while I was tucking into the ham sandwiches, and Olga Dmitrievna kept on talking and talking. She was buzzing like a game of Operation with Parkinson's. But I cared about nothing but the food. Understood? Huh? You weren't listening. Sorry. Today is the first day of your new life as a pioneer, and you should do your best so that it becomes a happy life. Yeah, definitely. I'm serious. A pioneer has many duties. Great responsibility is conferred upon him to participate in social work, to help his juniors, to study and study and study again. We are here. We are all like one big family. And you will become a part of it. Yeah, a part. I'd even sign a party membership card if it could save me from listening to this nonsense. I hope that after your term here is over, you'll keep the most pleasant memories about our camp. Memories that will last your whole life. And when will this term end? Why do you keep asking silly things? It seems like I won't get any information from her. A shame, really. This world appears to be so friendly, but it never bothered to introduce itself to me. Perhaps now I can take things somewhat easier than yesterday? It seems like I have some unspoken ceasefire with it. It isn't trying to hurt me, but I'm forbidden from asking questions. Of course, the situation isn't a pleasant one, but what can I do about it? A bad peace is better than a good dispute. The most important thing for you now is to make the best of the time you will spend here. I'll do my best. Honestly, I was very tired of this conversation. It would be good to know where that here is, but... Hey guys, so at this part of the recording, well, something pretty funny happened. And by funny, I mean not funny. The recording got corrupted from here on to the end. So I decided to go back and record what I had already read through or played through, whatever you want to call it, for this part, for this episode. The thing about it is I didn't record my mic because I really liked the way the audio turned out for this. So you're probably going to notice that the video and my voice is just a bit out of sync, and you're probably gonna hear clicking from my mouse before or after the text pops up on screen, either too soon or too late. I hope you guys do forgive me for that. I don't think it's too big of a deal. It still works. So yeah, here's the rest of the video. We came to the square. The pioneers were already lined up. What? Is somebody not here yet? Nope, all here. She looked around at her brave pioneer troops. Alright, go stand somewhere. Weird. Why did she tell me there are no more sleeping places? While the chief was running her mouth about her plans for the week, I stared at the people. A few heads away from me stood Electronic. A little further, Leda and Slavia. And at the end of the line, Uliana and Elisa. Oh. Everyone I had met was here. Olga Dmitrievna spoke about some competitions, and I turned my attention to the monument. Genda? I could not remember any revolutionary with a similar name. He had a weird posture too, as if he was looking around with distrust, maybe contempt, or even disdain. Probably some local leader. Daydreaming again? Slavia brought me back to reality. Olga Dmitrievna stood nearby. Still remember the plan for the week? The plan? I will never forget the plan. Perfect. She looked at Slavia. Did you bring it? Yes. Slavia handed me a piece of paper. It's a checklist. Here are 4 tasks to check off. Do it all today. Before you start, sign up for a club. There are some clubs in the clubhouse and a musical club in the separate building. Then, visit the infirmary. And finally, visit the library. Got it? Yes. The checklist seemed like a good chance to find out something, since I had to go places I haven't been before. Then come on, start right now. What about lunch? Don't worry, I'll bring you more sandwiches. The checklist is more important. Good luck. They departed too fast for me to ask anything else. Missed breakfast? Now I'll miss lunch too. This ain't good. Maybe I'll manage it in time somehow. Lunch starts at 1 p.m. Then again, if I'll go there, I might miss a place from the checklist. Okay, it's too early to go to the canteen anyway. Oh. Wait, so is the game opening up to me now? Huh. Okay, where are we? There's the showers. That's where we came in. This is the square. This has to be where he is right now. Okay. This is pretty hella interesting. I thought the whole thing was pretty linear. Is that the word? Y'all know what I mean. I didn't know we could do this. This is interesting. So I'm going to leave it right here, and in part 5, we're going to go do some exploring with Semyon. Until next time, thank you.